This etude has 2 distinct sections packed into a very abbreviated 11 measures. As such, you as a performer need to set your audience up to hear the intricacies and minutiae of both sections. The first section from measure 1 to measure 3 is a slower, marked Adagio section that focuses more on hand speed control and a little dynamic shaping. Starting at a comfortable mezzo forte, you need to relax, breathe, and attack the first note with a little bit of weight. You can pick up your sticks from your elbow and allow gravity to simply help with the initial attack. Just be sure that you keep your grace notes down on whichever hand you choose to do so on the drag. The rolls in this section can be tough to achieve a nice full sustained sound. I would suggest messing around with either a 16th note or sextuplet based skeleton rhythm for the rolls. In either case, pay close attention to your roll quality and the overlapping sounds of your buzzes. At the end of the day, you want to hear a sustain and not rhythm as you play rolls. As no dynamics are marked during the crescendo and decrescendo, I would suggest taking full advantage and doing as much with your musical shaping as possible. You hear in the last measure that I subtly retard the triplet. This is just a musical choice that I chose to further accentuate the decaying dynamic and to let the last drag stick out of the texture a little bit more. Finally, the hardest part of the entire piece is the roll that fades into the pianissimo. Relax and let your sticks rebound off the drumhead as much as they can while you try and overlap the rebounds hand to hand. As you decrescendo, your hand speed should also slow down. When you release the roll, let the room clear out of sound before moving on to the next section when you're ready. During the second section of the piece, there's more of an emphasis on the technical demand of the performer. You'll see flams introduced from the get-go. Just as before, breathe and let gravity do the work for you as you begin. This should feel the same as the very beginning, but just faster. I would also recommend keeping all ornamentation, whether it be flams or drags, on the same hand just for consistency throughout the etude. You'll see that I choose for every ornament to happen on my left hand. 16th note consistency is the most prominent demand of this section. As such, practice subdividing both the 8th note and 16th note pulse as you play through the piece. Start slowly with the metronome and gradually speed up the tempo as you place each note exactly where it belongs in the 16th note grid. That's either going to be on a beat, the second part of the 16th note, the E, the third part of the 16th note, the and, or the fourth part of the 16th note, the In measure 6, as you decrescendo, you can use zone play on the drum to aid in getting a softer piano sound in measure 8. As you decrescendo, you're going to gradually move the beads of your sticks towards the back bearing edge of the drum. If you choose to use zone play, you're striving for a gradual decrease in volume as well as a gradual shift in color as you change where you're playing on the drum. Measure 8 is just a 16th note grid that we mentioned earlier. Just be sure to keep your beads the same distance from the bearing edge, right near one another, so you're getting a consistent tone from the drum even if the rhythm wavers slightly. As you crescendo in measure 9, you want each accent to be gradually louder than the last, with the ceiling of your dynamics landing on beat 4 of that measure. Finally, for the last 2 measures, I would again recommend keeping all the ornaments on the same hand. In my performance, I played every accent on my right hand while keeping all the unaccented notes on my left hand, just to make getting a consistent sound between the different note types much easier. If you choose to do this, just remember that precision of rhythm must come first, and the ornamentation of rhythm can't allow the pulse to morph into something that's either slower or faster.